Today we got the Battle of the Supermen, with all 4 live-action Supermen going head-to-head. Who comes out on top? Let's find out. Clark Kent, otherwise known as Kal-El, is a really powerful alien superhero of the House of El, one of the few survivors of the destruction of Krypton, and an investigative reporter at the Daily Planet. In addition, Kal-El is the first Kryptonian of natural birth in centuries, the host of the Growth Codex, and the leader of the Justice League. Being a Kryptonian, Superman possesses powers and abilities that basically have been deemed godlike compared to normal humans. He's strong enough to easily overpower and take on General Zod, Wonder Woman, and Steppenwolf, move massive ships and buildings, and Clark can even separate the mother boxes, overpower the world engine's gravity beam, and, according to a newspaper headline, even shifted an entire tectonic plate in order to prevent an earthquake. Superman is also superhumanly durable. He's taken nuclear explosions, attacks from the Kryptonian monster Doomsday, General Zod, and Feora. And Clark is also remarkable endurance, even a healing factor. He will return to full strength after destroying the world engine, being in a point-blank nuclear explosion by being exposed to sunlight. Superman can fly and run at tremendous hypersonic speeds. The point is able to fly from the ground to outer space in a few seconds, overcome the gravitational force of the Phantom Zone, and even match the Flash in a race. Clark is also just as fast while in a fight, as he moved so fast that he made Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg look like they were frozen in time, and even somewhat kept pace with the Flash while in a fight. Clark can fly via manipulations to his own gravitational field, taking advantage of Earth's weaker gravity to propel himself through the skies and even beyond the planet's atmosphere. Upon mastering this technique, Superman can fly at hypersonic speeds, allowing him to circle the globe in moments. Superman has the ability to significantly focus the intensity of breath, just able to freeze targets by blowing on them. Also able to fire beams of intense heat from his eyes. He's able to momentarily match Doomsday. In short, Bruce Wayne said that Superman was capable of single-handedly wiping out the entire human race. Jor-El said that Kal had grown significantly more powerful than he could ever imagined. He's been able to easily overpower the combined might of the Justice League by himself, and even effortlessly defeat the new god Steppenwolf. Next up, Superman from the Donnerverse. Superman is the protagonist of the Richard Donner movies Superman 1-4, while the retcon continuation, Superman Returns. He was born with the name Kal-El on the planet Krypton. When his father Jor-El realized that the planet was doomed, he and his wife Laura Vaughn sent Kal-El to Earth, where he'd be found by Jonathan and Martha Kent. During his childhood and adulthood, he discovered he had superpowers and decides to use them to become a superhero, taking the name of Superman. Clark is insanely strong, as he straightened the Leaning Tower of Pisa, turned coal into diamonds by squeezing them, hurled all the nuclear weapons on Earth into the sun, and sealed up the San Andreas Fault. Superman has even lifted up a massive island kryptonite in it, and even managed to push the moon into the path of the sun in order to form an eclipse. He's also insanely durable, as he's completely undefazed by bullets, even a bullet point-blank range directly in the eye. He's taken punches from General Zod, taking energy blasts from Nuclear Man, and stood in fire and magma like it was absolutely nothing. Clark is also insanely fast. He's able to spin so fast that he can bore right to the ground, circle Earth several times in just a few seconds, and actually fly so fast that he's literally able to reverse the flow of time. Finally, Superman also has super vision and super breath. He's able to cut off the top of a mountain and destroy the Fortress of Solitude, and he can use freeze breath to freeze the surface of a lake or cool lava into stone. Superman also has some strange one-off powers that he'll occasionally use. Besides being able to reverse the flow of time, he's able to create several holograms of himself, throws insignia to restrain an opponent, and even has rebuilding the Great Wall of China vision. Next up, Superman from Smallville. Clark Kent, aka Superman, is Earth's greatest hero and the main protagonist of Smallville. Hailing from the planet Krypton, Clark is a superpowered alien who was raised in Smallville, Kansas. He resided there until his early adult years, when he moved to Metropolis. Clark is the most powerful superhero on Earth, one of the most powerful beings in the entire universe, and his chief physical power is his overwhelming superhuman strength. While growing up, Clark would use his strength to help out around the farm, driving nails in with his thumb, or lifting up tractors and the heavy machinery. He's crushed coal into diamonds, battled against a phantom clone of himself, Doomsday, and Darkseid. He's been pushed back the entire planet of Apocalypse by himself. Superman is also insanely durable. Now, as an adult, He's immune to diseases, bullets, and temperature extremes. Rockets, bombs, and lasers can't harm him in any way. He's basically indestructible. Clark can even be hit with a nuclear bomb and not go down. He also possesses superhuman speed and can easily exceed the sound barrier. He's able to run from London to Metropolis in just 2 seconds. He saved Lois from a missile that exploded right next to her. He's able to easily catch bullets. Clark is also able to alter his perception in super speed mode, to the point where, much like Flash or Quicksilver, the entire world around him seems to come to a crashing halt. After fully embracing his destiny, Superman also gained the ability to fly, enabling him to hover, levitate, or travel through the air at incredibly fast velocities. Clark also has heat vision, which is redirected solar energy, and his freeze breath, which he caused a massive snowstorm in Seattle. After fully immersing himself in his Kryptonian training, Clark also became very proficient in hand-to-hand combat, which allowed him to go toe-to-toe with, if not defeat, any adversary who had previously easily outclassed him. He even beat Aaliyah, a highly skilled Kryptonian soldier, fought against Zod, and very nearly beat Oliver Queen while powerless inside the Phantom Zone. Then, finally, Superman from the Arrowverse, the CW. On Earth 38, Kal-El hails from an advanced alien planet called Krypton. Upon Krypton's destruction, Kal-El's parents shot him into space in the hopes of saving his life. Upon crash landing on Earth, Clark was found by a friendly couple and raised to be Clark Kent, a reporter for the Daily Planet. One day the time came for Clark to reveal himself to the world, and managed to save an airplane from crashing. From that day forward, Earth had a new protector. His name was Superman. Clark is an incredibly powerful being, easily being one of the most powerful beings in the entire multiverse. The greatest display of Clark's abilities lies in his super strength, his chief superpower. Superman's strength is virtually incalculable. He's held up a skyscraper by himself, punched a Mazo into the planet, matched Supergirl in strength, and just the key to entering the Fortress of Solitude weighs millions of tons of condensed dwarf star. Superman is also insanely durable. Due to his lifelong time in the young sun, Clark's durability is noticeably stronger than his cousin Kara, as well as other Kryptonians who have appeared on Earth. He's even taken blasts that nearly killed Supergirl, taking attacks on Mazo, who had the combined power of both Superman and Supergirl, and even resisted the possible reality-warping powers of the Book of Destiny. Similar to his super strength and super durability, Clark also has super speed. He's able to catch bullets. But Superman isn't quite as fast as other speedsters across the multiverse, like the Flash or Reverse Flash. Superman also has heat vision comparable to Supergirl and powerful freeze breath. Then, thanks to his years of fighting crime, Kal-El became a highly skilled hand-to-hand fighter, even able to best Maxima, who had earlier beaten Supergirl and managed to consistently beat and ultimately kill General Zod. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, Superman is easily one of the most iconic heroes of all time, one of the most powerful heroes that DC has to offer. Because of all that, there have been plenty of live-action incarnations of the characters throughout the years, from the 1970s all the way up to the present day. But today, well, we're going to take all those live-action incarnations and throw them head-to-head. So who's coming out on top? Well, we're going to find out. Now, since all these characters are some version of Superman, they've obviously got all the same powers and abilities. So just like our fight between the 3 live-action Spider-Men, we just got to see which one of these 4 has got more of that power. So who's stronger? Well, for DCEU Superman, he sent Namek flying with a punch, flipped over several 150-ton locomotives on impact. He stood under and overpowered the World Engine's gravity beam that was transforming Earth into Krypton. He resisted the pull of the Phantom Zone, which mimics a small black hole, and controlled a large part of Metropolis during his fight with General Zod. In Batman v Superman, Clark has pulled a 6,000-ton ship and sent Doomsday flying hundreds of meters through space. Then, finally, in Justice League, he's effortlessly overpowered Aquaman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman, didn't even move an inch when they attacked. He's destroyed the New God Steppenwolf, lifted up a 7,000-ton building, and managed to separate the 3 mother boxes. Even though this is difficult to quantify, it took the power of Zeus to do it last time. But I'm going to venture to say that he's the weakest Superman here. Well, he wouldn't be the weakest if we actually did shift a tectonic plate like a newspaper article suggested. That's a random newspaper in the background in one scene, and Clark is never shown anywhere close to that strength level actually on screen. So it's kind of tough to say whether or not it's real or just an exaggeration. But honestly, it doesn't matter, because even if you include it, he's still not the strongest. We'll talk about that in a second. Right now, CW Superman. And CW Superman has managed to hold up skyscrapers all by himself. He sent Amazo flying miles into the earth with a punch, injured Supergirl with his attacks, and most impressively, is casually and routinely able to pick up his 100-million-ton key to the Fortress of Solitude. The Superman from the Donnerverse is able to casually lift up the top section of a mountain and throw it into a volcano, seal up the San Andreas fault, and his battle against Nam was creating tremors across the whole city. However, it doesn't just end there. Donnerverse Superman is honestly just insane. He looked up an island of kryptonite up in outer space, so which is getting weaker and weaker as he lived in the island, and even managed to push the moon into the path of the sun in order to form an eclipse. That's just insane, and is well beyond anything that DCEU or CW has shown us. But then we got Smallville Superman, and Clark's been able to do some pretty impressive things, like catching the Daily Planet globe, recently pulled the Phantom Zone just a single finger, and battling his Doomsday or Phantom clone version of himself. But if Smallville wants to be the strongest one here, he's got to beat Donnerverse, lifting the island and pushing the moon. Enter Apocalypse. During the series finale, the planet Apocalypse entered into our galaxy on its way to Earth. It was nearly as large as Saturn when it crossed by. Yet when the planet arrived at Earth, Clark was able to move the whole planet out of Earth's orbit. Not only that, but he threw it, and threw it so hard that it went sailing past the sun like it was nothing. That's insane! And it doesn't just dwarf DCEU and CW, but Donnerverse Superman as well. So about durability. Well, DCEU has taken by some Kryptonian warship, taken a whole barrage of attacks from a Batman trying to kill him, taken Doomsday's energy blast and giant energy waves, and even outside a nuclear explosion. Superman was also at the center of that explosion, which means that it was reaching temperatures 10 to 15 times hotter than the sun, ripping apart protons, neutrons, and electrons from the atoms. And yeah, Cal was injured by the attack, nearly killed, but he survived and actually quickly recovered. Clark's also been tossed through multiple skyscrapers, smashed through a mountain, taken attacks from Doomsday, from General Zod, from Feyor and Namek, after being resurrected, was completely unfazed by attacks from Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg all at the same time. For CW Superman, well, he's taken Kryptonian blast from Metallo, took a blast from Reactron that would very nearly killed Supergirl, and took punches and heat vision from Amazo, who at the moment had just absorbed both his powers and the powers of Supergirl. He's also taken the full force of the Monitor's book, the Book of Destiny, directly to the face, which is very hard to quantify, but should be insanely impressive. Donnerverse has taken punches of General Zod and Nuclear Man, who are both his physical equal. He's taken several energy blasts from Nuclear Man, and even resisted the beam attacks of 3 Kryptonians at once before overpowering them and throwing their own energy back at them. Then, finally, with Smallville, he's taken repeated punches of Doomsday, taking us from Bizarro and Zod, who are comparable in strength, and he's had attacks from Brainiac. On top of that, he's taken meteoric impact, and he withstood the shockwave of a nuclear bomb. So, all in all, everyone here is roughly as durable as the other, at least durable enough to take attacks from the others and keep on going. So then, finally, what about speed? Well, DCU Superman has been able to break the sound barrier, fly around the world in a few minutes, but he really shines well in a fight. Superman has been able to move so fast that it can nearly keep up with the Flash. It moves so fast that Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg all look like bona fide statues. This is highly impressive, as even Wonder Woman is an extremely casual bullet timer, and Superman was making Diana look like she was frozen in time. Then during his fight with Steppenwolf, man, he absolutely dominated that fight. Seeing how Steppenwolf didn't land a single punch, and Clark just made him look silly. CW Superman is comparable in speed to Supergirl. Is even fast compared to true speedsters like Flash and Reverse Flash. This is really coming down to Donnerverse and Smallville. Man, it's an insanely close comparison. Donnerverse is called a hypersonic missile. See how it spins so fast it literally drilled into the ground. In Superman Returns, it was said that he was fast in the speed of light, and Clark proved this in the first Superman movie, being able to circle the Earth countless times in just a few seconds. And yet, I know that Superman did fly so fast he turned back time, but there's a real question of whether this was purely speed, or another one of Superman's one-off powers that he displayed throughout the movies. I mean, the Donnerverse Superman is basically a live-action Silver Age Superman, who just displayed a random one-off powers. And yeah, reversing time could have very well been one of them. Regardless, Donnerverse is faster than light speed. But then again, so is Smallville. He's run from Smallville to Honduras and London to Metropolis in just a few seconds. He's outran a camera flash and caught bullets. But more importantly, as we mentioned it several times, that Superman is fast at the speed of light. So it's been repeatedly stressed that he's more powerful across the board than his cousin Supergirl, including speed. And Kara was able to fly outside the solar system in literal seconds, making her way faster than the speed of light, and thus making Clark way faster than the speed of light as well. Now, I know last but not least is Heat Vision and Freeze Breath, but I'm not really going to touch on them too much. For the most part, everyone is roughly comparable, to be able to match up against everyone else. Like DCEU's Heat Vision can reach 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, Donnerverse can cut through a mountaintop, and CW can match up against Supergirl. Then DCEU can use Freeze Breath to destroy Steppenwolf's axe, while Donnerverse can cool lava into stone, and Smallville can cause an entire snowstorm in Seattle. Now, clearly Donnerverse and Smallville are more powerful here, but everyone will take the other's attacks and retaliate with attacks of their own. So, end of the day, who wins here? Well, ultimately, it's got to come down to either Donnerverse or Smallville Superman. Love DCU and CW, but they just can't compare. Not even close. Like we said, Donnerverse is essentially a live-action Silver Age Superman. But Smallville, well, by the end of the series, he's basically becomes the literal comic book Superman. By the end of the series, he's proven he's stronger by literally throwing a planet, proven he's a whole lot faster too. And while Donnerverse could potentially use a one-off power to come out on top here, none of his one-off powers in the past have been remotely powerful enough to take down any of the Superman. Not even DCU or CW, much less Smallville. End of the day, Smallville has shown the best combination of strength and speed feats, and is more well-rounded than others. Smallville Superman wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, turn on notifications, join the DanCo army, and I will see you all next time.